breaking on a sandy shore, far horizons beckoning to distant lands. Here, earth, sea, and sky combine their beauty and their challenge. Here, man can dream of bright tomorrows. Here, he can make plans to build better than ever before, to go forward to accomplishments greater than he has ever known. Rivers are an age-old friend of man, but they can turn quickly from friend to foe, flooding farm and city, sweeping away homes and harvests. So, man will harness streams to do his bidding. He will protect and preserve the fertility of the soil. He will use new machinery, new methods, new developments to make each acre produce more crops, to keep yields and fertility climbing. He will study each operation, keep records of results, to be sure he is doing his utmost to meet the worldwide need for food. He will answer the challenge of the air age. He will build airliners that are bigger, better, faster, safer than any we have known. He will construct thousands of new airports and enlarge hundreds of old ones, because air transportation is literally sweeping around the world, and every air journey begins and ends on the ground. Our oil reserves dropped sharply during recent years, so trained men will search the world over for new sources of petroleum products. Scientific instruments will replace the slow and costly wildcat methods of other days and reveal the deeply hidden secrets of the earth. Shots fired in comparatively shallow wells will send sound waves deep into the earth. These waves are recorded on a seismograph, so a whole area can be plotted. In our forests, similar advanced methods will be used. Timber will be treated as a crop, which indeed it is. Trees grow, mature, decay, and die, just like corn or cotton. But it takes them far longer to complete their life cycle. So, the secret is to harvest each tree when it has reached its peak of size and quality. When the falling crew has done its work, tractors hook on to your future home, the garage for that new car of yours, and haul it in amazing loads over roads that other tractors have built and motor graders maintain. Time-honored methods like the old-fashioned river drive will still be with us, but they will be made safer and faster. Stout-hearted machines will keep logs in midstream, so men won't have to ride them to the mill. In other forests and on thousands of the nation's farms, new lands must be cleared to grow more food for a hungry world. There is no time, no manpower for hand clearing and grubbing. And so that fabulous tool, the bulldozer, crashes into the job and writes new records of economy and performance. In swamp and desert, on farm and forest, land clearing must be carried forward speedily and well. New oil fields must be opened to bolster the world's dwindling petroleum supply. Hundreds of construction projects rush to completion. Access roads must be built, levees constructed, drainage established. Life and wealth are dependent on the soil. We will need to use more of our soil in the future, but we must use all of it better than ever before. New acres must be cleared and depleted farms restored to their original production. No longer will it be necessary to farm around stumps and boulders. New tools are on hand to remove them. Where where stumps have great commercial value, either for the turpentine and rosin they contain, or as sources of fine wood for cabinet making, they can now be quickly and economically removed with a special tractor tool called a stump dozer. In this operation, typical of hundreds throughout the land, pine stumps are being uprooted at a double profit to the owner. These stumps are so valuable that they pay all the costs of removal, plus an additional cash dividend. Who can overestimate the value of good roads to a nation, or the worth of machinery that can build them under any condition of soil or climate? Neither mud nor mountains, desert heat nor Arctic cold must retard the great road building program which we require to increase our commerce, open up our last frontiers, link farm with city, and add to the speed and safety of travel. Versatile, capable earth-moving equipment provides the means of building new highways and improving old ones. And it all will be done in record time and at record low cost. For more than a decade, prices of most things have risen steadily, but earth-moving costs have come tumbling down thanks to units such as these. Here, in truth, are modern giants fashioning 7-league boots for the commerce of the world. All over the earth, this great road building program will go forward. By tropic lakes and rivers, through forests and jungles, new highways are being built to open up vast natural resources, link town with town, country with country, and provide the transportation that is the foundation for all commerce and national development. Modern earth-moving equipment will do the work because people everywhere now know of its advantages and economy. They have seen with their own eyes the miracles it can so swiftly and surely perform. When the road is ready for hauling, motor graders take over the job of smoothing and maintaining it, so traffic can proceed at a rapid rate. Bulldozers are everywhere, moving earth on the right-of-way and completing the new highway which makes other construction projects possible. In the days ahead, many existing highways must be improved, and the modest cost of the work means little when compared to the benefits it will bring. And so a bulldozer clings to a western mountain and starts biting deeply into its yielding side. The road must be widened and blind curves eliminated because traffic must move in greater volume with far greater safety. This dangerous job will ensure speed and security to generations of motorists. As this mighty highway program goes forward, bulldozers are used on the short hauls of less than 200 or 300 feet to carry out a zoned equipment program. Track-type tractors and scrapers do the earth moving on hauls of medium length, generally ranging up to half a mile. On the long hauls, the latest high-speed rubber-tired tractors, pulling scrapers or wagons, come into their own. Although scrapers are ordinarily self-loading, the modern ones can be shovel-loaded when working in a rocky cut. It is speed that gives these units their principal advantages on long-haul earth moving. So let's watch them as they highball to the fill. When they reach the fill, they spread their loads with military precision. Airports are high on the list of construction programs for hundreds of towns and cities throughout the world. Scores of old forts must be enlarged. Many, many new ones must be built. Perhaps there's no better example of courage, cooperation, and foresight in putting a community on the airways than is to be found in the Kanawha County Airport near Charleston, West Virginia. This rich industrial empire had seen its old airport commandeered for a wartime chemical plant, but the old port had been outgrown. It was also dangerous to reach in a narrow and often foggy river valley. So the engineers went up into the rugged country near Charleston and located a new port. To build it, the tops had to be carved off 4 mountains and fills up to 230 feet deep made in nearby valleys. 10 million yards of earth and rock were moved by a veritable army of earth-moving equipment. The job was done in record time, in spite of the fact that grades on the haul roads ranged up to 35%, and most of the tractors were over 4 years old when they went to work on the contract. The contractor on the Kanawha Airport used the zoned equipment setup that has answered in so many construction problems. Versatile DW-10s and W-10 wagons rolling on rubber completed this earth-moving picture. These fast, easily handled outfits with their fingertip steering were used on long hauls and sections where the material was too rocky to be moved with scrapers. As they go about their business, we see the rhythm and constant production that are the foundation of successful earth moving. The haul roads were kept smooth by diesel motor graders. That pays dividends too. Loads are bigger, they roll faster and easier, and when you get to the fill, you can dump them on the go without a second's delay. Now let's move on to levee building and see how modern earth-moving equipment is bringing new speed and economy to another great construction program. The first levees were built with hand labor. Imagine how slow and expensive that was as compared with this modern setup. Then came mules pulling slip scrapers and one-yard wagons. Shovels, drag lines, and giant dredges have all written their chapters in levee history. But as cross-sections have increased, hauls have grown longer because it is not safe to remove all the earth required from nearby borrow pits. So zoned equipment comes into the picture again, with wheel tractors and wagons bearing the brunt of the hauling, while track-type tractors pulling elevating graders send the earth into the wagons in a regular cascade. Drag lines load the wagons on another section of the job. They are powered with the same diesels that drive all the tractors, thus ensuring one source of parts and mechanical service. Now away they go to the levee at speeds ranging up to 18 miles an hour. Here are versatile, fast, easily operated earth movers, designed for top production throughout a long and profitable life. A 5-speed transmission provides power for climbing steep grades. And fingertip hydraulic steering makes it easy to turn sharply down the crown of the levee and deliver each load exactly where it's needed. A number 12 motor grader maintains the roads, thus ensuring bigger loads hauled at faster speeds. On and on, the brimming loads keep coming as tractor after tractor is silhouetted against the sky. As the outfits are steered easily into position, the loads are dumped exactly where they are wanted. are met by the earth mover's old friend, the bulldozer, which spreads each load and compacts it into the fill. Here is a well-planned, well-equipped operation that is fascinating to watch and profitable to study. There are many public works which must be rushed to completion to meet the needs of hundreds of communities. New reservoirs, dams, and sewage disposal plants are high on the list. The site for this great filtration plant was literally stolen from a nearby lake, so the going is soft and spongy. That means tracks on both the tractors and the wagons in order to move giant loads of earth and rock. Most of the excavated material is used to strengthen the levee and breakwater, while the balance is added to the fills between the basins. The wagons are unloaded on the go by a hydraulic jack, which will dump the load to either side. The lift is high to ensure clean dumping, and the fill grows 10 yards at a clip as each new load arrives. Our mines must produce at record rates to carry forward a record construction program. So this man-made canyon in the Great Mesabi Iron Range will grow wider and deeper. Down in the very bottom of the pit, a fleet of tractors and trailers are saving a rich pocket of ore. Once more, we find tractors and excavators using the same diesel power. As the shovel loads the 10-yard wagons, a bulldozer bunches the ore so it will all be recovered easily and speedily. This iron ore is almost twice as heavy as ordinary earth, but the D8s haul full loads up the long, steep grades. Here is balanced power and traction to keep the ore rolling in good weather and bad. Here also is long life and dependability, because this tractor has been on the job for over 17,000 hours and is still going strong. When the unit reaches the stockpile, the body comes up and the load slides out without once slackening the pace of the tractor. Simple hydraulic controls do the trick. Nearby, a new mine is being opened, and another fleet of D8s is hard at work removing the overburden. This time they are pulling 20-yard scrapers and are getting brimming loads with tractors acting as push dozers. Again, we see what rhythm means to an earth-moving job. It is achieved by careful planning, buying the right number of units to carry out that plan, and being sure each machine has what it takes to stay on the job day after day. Because the minute one machine goes down, the whole job is thrown out of balance. Next, we turn to oil, the lifeblood of modern commerce and industry. Here we find highly skilled men working at top speed to give the world ever-increasing quantities of petroleum products for our cars, ships, and planes, to turn the wheels of industry, to heat our homes, and supply a growing list of synthetic products ranging from chemicals to rubber. Back of every oil field operation is power, rough, tough diesel power to drill wells thousands of feet into the earth. Dogged, dependable tractor power, too, that carves out slush pits, digs them deep and true, gets the earth out of the way in a hurry, so drilling can commence the minute the rig is assembled and ready to go. When firewalls are needed, 2 tractors are used to push them up in a hurry. There's no time to wait for the mud to dry, and there's no way to establish drainage in this man-made reservoir. Besides, mud is a tradition in the oil fields. It's the deepest, slickest, stickiest mud in the world. If you don't like it, you're in the wrong business. And that goes for machines as well as men. So the old-timers pick tractors that are used to mud for a job like this. Now let's turn to food production and see the strides that are being made to feed a hungry world. Pineapple became scarce after Pearl Harbor, but it's back now, sweeter and juicier than ever, thanks to modern methods and skilled hands that know so well how to handle each step of the growing of the crop. Sugar also has been one of the scarcest of foods. Rich in energy and appetite appeal, this great staple has been in increasing demand all over the world. Now powerful steps are being taken to end the shortage, as diesel tractors pulling giant plows put old fields back into production and start developing new ones. Sugarcane needs a deep, mellow seed bed. So tropical soils are worked to a depth of 3 feet or more to ensure top yields. When the crop goes into the ground, men and machines team up on a continuous operation that opens the furrows and plants the cane joints 2 rows at a time. Furrows must be dug deeply in a well-prepared seed bed, so big tools and big tractors are the rule. Smaller tractors are widely used for cultivating and harvesting, but harvesting methods differ according to topography. On this Hawaiian operation, cane is hauled to a flume by small tractors and is floated down steep grades and across deep ravines to a distant mill. In leveler fields, diesel engines power portable loaders, towering units which are skidded across the plantation to keep pace with the harvest. Back in the fields, more tractors feed the loader and keep the cane coming in a never-ending stream. Once more, we see the rhythm of a well-planned job, where good equipment, skillfully handled, gets work done in a hurry. On goes the train to the mill, pulled by another diesel tractor that is working to keep your sugar bowl brim full. Agriculture is being stepped up all over the world to meet the record demands for almost every crop. In mountain valleys and across fertile plains, the pace of farming quickens. Tractors work round the clock to produce food and still more food, because today's farming is more than a good way of life. It is the foundation of all life, and from it, all of us must live. Each field now becomes a solemn trust to help guard against shortages and want. Orchards must be stepped up in the quantity and quality of their production. They must be cultivated, fertilized, sprayed, pruned, and protected, because fruit is as short as sugar in many countries, and it takes years to bring new trees into full bearing. So growers will do their utmost to turn the promise and beauty of spring blossoms into bumper harvests of sound, fine fruit. Fruit that is free from blemishes, that has few culls, and brings top prices to the grower, plus top quality to the purchaser. This is the kind of fruit the whole world needs. Red, juicy apples, fresh from the tree, filled with health and goodness, and harvested at the very day of top flavor. Apples that are transported quickly to the cold storage warehouse, so this goodness will be preserved until they reach your table. On every farm, in every crop, production must reach an all-time high, and nowhere is it more important than in the growing of wheat, man's staff of life. In spite of manpower shortages, in spite of weather, in spite of everything, wheat must be produced as never before. Only in this way can we ensure the abundant harvests the whole world needs. Our farmers know this, and they are equipped as never before to do the gigantic job that is before them. For the need for their crops is greater than ever. Their task is never finished. It is only beginning. They have never failed us. They will not fail us now. Resolute, able, courageous, they will carry on and wipe out hunger everywhere. They are used to performing miracles. They will perform new miracles in the days ahead, so that all of us, wherever we are and whatever our work may be, can go forward, well-fed and confident with our common task of building a better world.